There's nothing like Speedway. The roar of the bikes and the cars. The race is on, smell the fuel in the air. The crowd comes alive, they breathe the fire. Nothing like Speedway. Nothing like Speedway. Nothing like it. Nothing like Speedway around. Nothing like Speedway around.
Yes, the track looks good, and I think we're going to see possibly some new track records. We had, what, one or two last week from memory?
No, we certainly had at least two.
At least two, yeah. And of course, if you've only just come out to Speedway for the first time today, we see the cars going around in this direction. On the first event tonight for the automotive dispatches, we've got the green flag.
Three cars wide. Leanne Weller has been swamped by a number of cars, and it's Brian Donegan, SA number 47, taking the high road to China, so to speak, at the moment. Down the back chute and into corner number 3 goes our race leader for the first time. Oh, gee, Leanne Weller got it all crossed up. We'll try and pick up the order for you. Brian Donegan is leading, and one driver really trying to get through would be Murray Bridge 95, Kim Montague. Currently runs in second position. Leanne Weller still back there in third. Darren Knowles is battling with Maris Balotz for third and fourth positions respectively, and car number 63, Kimmy Cottrell, is beginning to carve his way through the field. So one driver having a few problems, Cyril O'Connor, number 3, he's circulating, about to be lapped as a matter of fact, by our race leader, who is really scorching across the terra firma at the moment, as our Coca-Cola counter having a few problems flickering on and off at the moment, but never mind, into corner number 3.
I tell you who's not flickering, that's Brian Donegan. Have a look at this, it's more difficult than it looks out there, and he really has got this together. Car 47, Brian Donegan, out and running, has got almost a quarter of a lap over the rest of the field at the moment. As car 3 pulls in, that's Cyril O'Connor. The race is run, and Donegan down the back with 4.5 laps to go.
So Leanne Weller still sits for Chris Milton Engine Developments in a comfortable second placing, but I tell you what, it's not looking too comfortable now, because Darren Knowles, as Jimmy Gibbs spins the car, and can he keep the Torrey going? That's the question, as he gets it back on the circuit. Corner number 4 is where he's at, and now comes back down the main chute in front of us. And in case you're wondering if the street stocks will go in this direction all night, well, who knows? It's up to the pit masters when they let them out the gate, because that's why they're called street stocks. It's hard for the drivers to try and give themselves any kind of advantage when they don't know which way they'll be going around the track.
Car 49 there, Gary Wesley having a moment down the main straight. Let's get back to the leaders, and certainly at the moment we've still got Brian Donegan out and running.
Yes, with 2 laps remaining as he goes by. And here comes our second place runner. It's still Darren Knowles. Leanne Weller just holding on grimly to third placing. But I'll tell you what, for Highlander Crash, Maris Balotz is looking to get through on the outside. And he's certainly got the momentum down the back straight. Can he get there? That's the question with 1.5 laps remaining. Kim Cottrell driving for Dilato is still running in 4th position, just ahead of Kim Montague from Murray Bridge number 95. So with 1 lap remaining, our race leader has really driven so well in this one. Half a lap to go now as he goes past the auto instrument sign through corner number 3, gets it sideways. All he's got to do is keep it nice and smooth, and he will take the honours in event number 1, the Automotive Dismantlers of Australia Street Stocks. In for second position, SA number 2, Darren Knowles. Leanne Weller just hangs on to third position, ahead of the hard-charging Maris Balotz for 4th. Then it's back to Kimmy Cottrell, Kim Montague. Car number 49, Gary Wesley, the next one through, ahead of number 50.
That first event here at Speedway Park tonight.
There for the next round of heat races.
Still a good field, mate. I would suggest that those cars in the infield at the moment don't want to take any risks. They're making absolutely sure for later. But let's have a look at this field. We've got a yellow flag up there. 8 laps on the Coca-Cola counter.
Let's go racing, the green flag. The fire around the outside. Ian Lewis into corner number 1. Gary Rush, New South Wales, number 2, is now moved into second position. Tommy Tomlinson, the first of the South Australians, back there in 4th position, followed by Phil March. So they come by, 1 down, 7 remaining. Ian Lewis is leading. Gary Rush sitting back there in second position. Rob Rankin from Victoria back there in third. He's under siege. Phil March makes it into third position down the back chute, and watch him go through corners 3 and 4. But our 2 race leaders are really taking the opportunity to really pull away at the moment. Back there, Rob Rankin holding down 4th position, but Gary Rush has got a ton of speed down the straight. Just watch him go, 9 times Australian champion. He certainly knows what it's all about in a sprint car. Into corner number 1 they fly, and it's still Ian Lewis. New South Wales number 2 is Gary Rush. Now applying the pressure in a big way down the back chute. Let's try and pick up the entire order as they come by with 4 down, 4 laps remaining. Victorian Ian Lewis. New South Wales number 2, Gary Rush. Then it's back to SA number 3, Phil March, who is really making some inroads on our race leaders. Rob Rankin holds down 4. Tommy Tomlinson back there in 5th. Then it's back to Charlie Calandro, SA 33, Wayne Bunker, and Jeffrey Lease, the last driver in the field, WA 77.
Okay, we've got 2.5 laps to go, and at the moment Ian Lee is still leading from Gary Rush, but Gary Rush is a very seasoned campaigner. You don't take out several Australian championships. Have a look at this. Rush trying to get the drive, get up behind Lewis, and of course Phil March from South Australia is still doing very well back there. We've got 1.5 laps to go. Can Rush do it? Down on the inside through turn 4, coming into the main straight. White flag, 1 to go.
Yes, that's a $1 million question at the moment. Rush on the inside, clips the gutter. It could be a dash for horsepower down the back chute. Entrance of corner number 3 is where it's at. Out of corner number 4, put your hands together for Ian Lewis, and he gets there, the checkered flag. New South Wales number 2, Gary Rush in for 2nd. SA number 3, Phil March for 3rd. Then it's back to Rob Rankin, Tommy Tomlinson, Chas Calandro, Wayne Bunker, and Jeffrey Lease.
I tell you what, it would have been interesting if Gary Rush hadn't made that small mistake over there in turn 2 just before the back chute. He got down on the gutter, and very shortly will...
South Australia Sprint Cars heat number 2 is about to go. Once we see the green flag, John Dawson getting itchy feet here as he gives the green flag, and your pick has got a blinding start there. SA's number 7, and we've had a rollover. Down they go, Kevin McCullum and number 19, Chris Ackland. 2 cars have toppled on their sides there. We have a solid red light situation, which really could benefit the 1 or 2 drivers which didn't manage to get a start down on the infield. Number 6, number 91, Kevin Condren, and SA's 97, Darryl Downing, goes out of position. Number 7, the Foundation, South Australia, heat number 2, and the green flag has been given, and David Anderson gets off the start very well. Cobby back there in 2nd position. Cricky holds down 3rd, Graham Mason. Max Dumsney is battling Cricky and Mason on the inside, but no, the track is starting to sort out a few of our drivers here, but it's Victoria 37 about to say New South Wales, and David Anderson is leading. SA's own Jamie Cobby up there in 2nd position. Ron Cricky, number 99 I should say, he's up there battling in 3rd position. Then it's back to Graham Mason, who is holding off Australian champion. Look out, Ron Cricky's cooked it. Graham Mason spins the car and keeps it going, and he has brought down the yellow light. We have a caution.
Blue one.
Yeah, that'll be right, mate. So the green flag has been given, and Anderson flies around the outside. Tyres are starting to squeal with the track conditions at the moment. On the inside is Max Dumsney battling with Jamie Cobby, who is trying for traction. And we've had to spin another one. Condren gets it sideways, but he keeps the car going and manages to keep the green light flowing. So Anderson, he's leading, but Dumsney, the Australian champion, is having a battle royal with Jamie Cobby at the moment. We got momentum on the outside, but Dumsney is trying for the inside move. But I'll tell you what, David Anderson has absolutely thrown caution to the wind. Watch him go. The pilot for Wagga Mobile Cranes is running right up near the fence and is certainly getting maximum traction with his car as he flies down the back chute. 4 and a bit laps remaining. The South Australian up there in 2nd position. But I'll tell you what, the national champion's looking pretty hungry up there at the moment as they come down the main chute. 4 laps remaining through corner number 1. Dumsney this time tries to get through on the inside of Cobby and does so, but coming back on the inside, it's Cobby. No, he backs out, and wisely so, because Dumsney had his measure.
He had the gate shut on him, mate. The gate was shut on him.
Absolutely. Darryl Downing up there, the other South Australian in this race, 1 of 3, and he currently sits in 4th position as our race leader now takes the opportunity to put a lap on Condren. But I tell you what, this New South Welshman is really driving a fine performance in this one. Dumsney still hovering back there in 2nd position, driving the JSR car. Then it's back to Cobby, followed by Darryl Downing, SA 97, and Graham Mason. He's also back there holding down 5th position. So with half a lap remaining, our race leader has absolutely bolted in this one as he cruises through corner number 3. and he's running right up high looking for extra traction. And there's a checkered flag. New South Wales 37, David Anderson. Coming in for second position, Australian number 1 for John Sydney Racing, Max Dumsney. And SA number 16, Jamie Cobby holds on for third, ahead of Daryl Downing number 97, SA number 7, Graham Mason, who was involved in a spin with 99, Ron Cricky. Right along with the grid here, number 52, Garth Raymond starts from 4. On the outside of the front row, starting out of position number 2, Murray Bridge 58, Daryl Payne. Then Murray Bridge 59, Andrea Payne starts out of position number 3.
And they're away.
From 7, 69, Rick Skuse, Murray Bridge 75, Steve Allen started out of 6. And as you said, they are well and truly underway. Out of corner number 2, and it's our race leader, Daryl Payne. But the Papa, Robert Welch, SA number 9, he's up there and really charging at the moment from second position.
Yeah, number 75 was last, mate. He's a trier. I tell you what, those first 2 cars didn't have any regard for paintwork. They were scraping it off onto each other all the time, mate.
Yes, absolutely, and that's the way these guys run, trying to get the maximum out of their machines. Not quite as powerful as any of the other classes that run out here at Speedway Park, but the momentum factor really does come into play. These cars have got to try and keep themselves mobile, because that's the order of the day. And I'll tell you what, our race leader, he's certainly mobile at the moment. Number 58 from Murray Bridge, Daryl Payne. We saw him take out the feature race here last Friday night, and he is certainly proving to be the driver to beat so far tonight.
Well, I don't know that this fella down here in number 52's made a wise choice, because I don't think he's motoring too well at the moment. I think he's got a small problem down there. He's almost lapped already.
Yes, could certainly be. But
he might have a problem there, I think.
Victoria, number 30, doing a fine job. Rob Payton started from the rear of the field and has already moved his way into a third position, so he's certainly driving very well at the moment because of the animal. Rick Skuse, SA number 69, is up there in fourth position ahead of Murray Bridge 59, which would be Andrea Payne, sitting in a comfortable fifth position. Ahead of the next driver through would be car number 26 as he comes by Rob Gowling, ahead of Murray Bridge 75, Steve Allen.
But our race leader is, he's got it a bit sideways and got out a bit wide there and hung the tail out, but he's kept the momentum going. And the gap hasn't closed at all from the clean away car number 9. And number 30, who is your mate. Hang on. He's not on here. What happened to him?
Car number 30, well, that's Rob Payton, Victoria 30, in addition to the program.
Mate, I thought it was having a dream. I thought I'd been watching Ghost again.
Well, our race leader is still Daryl Payne through corners 1 and 2. Exits corner number 2 now, tries to get the car in a straight line to cruise down the back chute with 1.5 laps remaining. And the order is remaining pretty much the same. The cars have spread themselves out. But I'll tell you what, there's a pretty good battle looming there for third and fourth positions respectively on the racetrack between the Victorian Rob Payton and the animal himself, Rick Skuse, number 69. So with half a lap remaining, I'll tell you what, this guy has led from start to finish.
And opened the gap right out.
Absolutely, he's thrown the challenge out, but the drivers behind him have not been able to answer the call. Murray Bridge 58, of course, this is unofficial at the moment. Daryl Payne takes the checkered flag. In for second, SA number 9, Robert Welch, and Victoria 30, Rob Payton gets in for a very creditable third position, considering he started from the rear of the field, mate.
He did, mate. He's made up a lot of ground. He's snuck out of them. The trouble with these races is that because you don't see the charges and the very fast acceleration that you get.
Car 94, Max Thompson from 5, and car 9, Neil Windsor, also starting rear of the field. So they're the starters for you in this Miller Auto Products Super Sedan Division number 2. It's also good, John, to see in the program that the sponsors are mentioned along with the drivers, because without the sponsors it certainly doesn't happen. Ready for a start in this, we've got 8 laps on the Coca-Cola counter. Event 5 for Miller Auto Products Super Sedan Division number 2. Let's have a look at it. Car 4 around the outside, Trevor Hammer. Can he get through? Car 29 before that, Tony Howlett for Daytona, Signs and Valvoline and Dulux. A good shootout down the back, mate.
Yes, certainly so, as Trevor Hammer has gained the upper hand at the moment. And we have a stoppage as Lee Edwards, number 29, Tony Howlett, out of position number 2 is Trevor Hammer, and the green flag has been given, and we are racing racing into corner number 1, and it's Tony Howlett. He's leading and quite comfortably at the moment. He's got a little bit of a buffer, but I'll tell you what, cars are really scrambling back there for the minor placings as the field begins to reel him in, because Trevor Datson's up there really trying very hard in the 3rd position, and one of the cars, that wouldn't be a Thompson by any chance, would it? Yes, it is Max Thompson. Number 94 is up there in 4th position, just ahead of car number 5, Brian Atkinson. But I tell you what, these cars are very close at the front of the field. We could just about throw a blanket over them, JT.
Certainly, yeah, man. Let's have a look at Trevor Hammer back there. He's treating it on the pole line around for Blair Athol Auto Parts, coming down behind Tony Howlett. Hammer behind Howlett down the back straight. We've got 5 1/2 laps to go, and the car, we've got a spin out once again. That's that corner to turn 2.
Yeah, Brian Atkinson spun the machine on corner number 2, as you said, JT, just in front of the Dulux Auto Colour sign.
Award, and we'll award that later. We have the flag up and we're ready for a restart in event number 5 on the program. It's Miller Auto Products Super Sedan Division 2. We have a start.
And Tony Howlett goes wide into corner number 1, now cuts the car down tight. Max Thompson has just been passed by Trevor Datson on the inside. Andy Jones, number 21, back there in 5th position, head of car number 9. Not listed here in the program, but maybe on the computer printout he may be listed. Well, who's to know at the moment as he comes by in front of us. Well, our apologies on that one. But Brian Atkinson, the driver who caused the stoppage 2 laps ago, he is now bringing up the rear in the field, because that's where he had to go after the stoppage.
Neil Windsor.
Neil Windsor, car number 9. Thanks very much, mate. But Tony Howlett, SA number 9, driving for Daytona Signs. Through corner number 1 he goes, but the pressure is certainly there, because Trevor Hammer,
Have a look
car
down
number
the back
4.
straight. Oh.
Magnificent dive on the inside, and I'll tell you what, Datson tries for the same manoeuvre, and I think he may have taken him. Thompson back there, running in 4th position. Look out, Howlett gets it sideways. Oh gee, I'll tell you what, it is action aplenty here in the Super Sedans Division number 2, and a few of these drivers would certainly be pressing for Division 1 status, mate. They are flying.
You couldn't go more sideways unless you're going backwards.
So Datson now has his hands full with Max Thompson, number 94. The yellow car as he comes out of, or down the main chute into corner number 1, running right up near the fence, trying to get maximum traction, because Andy Jones and car number 9, as well as Brian Atkinson, having their own private little battle back towards the rear end of the field. So here we go, the white flag, 1 lap remaining, and it's Trevor Hammer, SA number 4, I should say, driving for Blair Athol Auto Parts. He's leading, and he's now got about probably a 6 or 7 car buffer at the moment. Tony Howlett driving back there in 2nd position, and Trevor Datson. So the order should remain the same as the checkered flag awaits our race leader, Trevor Hammer, for Blair Athol Auto Parts. Next is SA 29, Tony Howlett, followed by Trevor Datson, Max Thompson, and a few more cars still to come through.
A good race after a couple of stoppages down there, and now might be the time.
Yes, we welcomed all the Grand Prix people here earlier, and again we certainly do that whether you're a visitor, a mechanic, a driver, an official. And I do have a couple of fellas down here that I'd really like to introduce to you. First of all, the chap I'd like to introduce to you is a fella called Duncan Lee, who's the sponsorship director for Camel. Duncan, welcome to Adelaide, and more importantly, welcome to Speedway Park.
Thank you very much, Mel. It's always a pleasure when I come to Adelaide to come out to Speedway Park.
Duncan, just what does a sponsorship director do?
Well, that's a very good question. We have several international sponsorships with our company, the biggest of which is in Formula One, and that's what brings us to Adelaide to the Grand Prix. We're sponsored with the Cannon Williams team with Nigel Mansell and Ricardo Patrese, the Benetton Ford team with Nelson Piquet and Michael Schumacher, and also with Brabham with Mark Blundell and Martin Brundle. So, big program.
Well, I also understand that you've done a bit of interviewing as well, and racetrack calling.
Yes, I did that too. Worked at a speedway in California just like this, and I started doing that when I ran out of money with my own race car.
Now, what about this driving bit? What's this I hear about you?
Well, I drove a car very similar to your super sedans here about 15 years ago in California. We called them super stocks or sportsman cars. And I just was looking at some of them just in this last race, and they look pretty nice. They got a nice bunch of cars.
Like driving Fords?
Doesn't matter. I'm not partial to the brand at all.
I'll see if I can get hold of a Ford car. We'll probably see Duncan if I can organise a car for him a bit later on. One of the guys that I am really pleased to meet and to see here is a guy that did exceptionally well yesterday in the Grand Prix. He had to qualify, and to do that he needed a good time, and a good time he did. Didn't go quite so well today, so perhaps we could ask him, would I like, please ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the Brabham Yamaha team driver, Martin Brundle. Martin, a very big Adelaide hello.
Thank you very much.
Martin, you've been here a few times. How do you see Adelaide's Grand Prix?
Well, you read a lot about it being one of our favourite races, and that's very true. It's the end of the year for us. It's the last race of the year, but we're always made very, very welcome in Adelaide, and we enjoy coming. And there's usually put a few toys out for us. We come in a bit early, and we love the city very much.
Martin, you had a good day yesterday, fastest time, qualified the Brabham well, but today wasn't quite so good.
No, we have this qualifying situation where the tyres last only about 4 miles. It's a crazy situation, but it's for the start grid on Sunday, and today I just kept tripping over people getting in the way. They were slowing down as I was speeding up, or a couple of guys spun right on the end of my nose cone, so it's just a bad day, I'm afraid, but I'm enjoying it here tonight.
It must be an advantage to, all right, you qualified yesterday. Does that give you an advantage to set the car up? You've got an extra day as against Nigel and Ayrton and all those guys.
Did give us a bit of a head start, but that it depends on the car you're driving. Unfortunately, in Formula One, the McLaren and Williams seem to be a country mile ahead, and we're more or less racing for the rest of the, sort of the best of the rest at the moment. But yeah, thank you very much. I hope we see a few of the fans here tonight at the Formula One race on Sunday, and thank you for your warm welcome that we always get in Adelaide.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a big round of applause to Martin Brundle.
And we must also welcome Barry Lewis, who is over from Sydney for the Grand Prix, and of course the Australian Sprint Car Masters tonight. Certainly hope you're enjoying the action, and also Mr. and Mrs. Mygro that are over here from Perth. So
a long way away, all the way from Perth.
Yes, certainly the action.
It's a lovely city. Have you ever been to Perth, John?
Yes, certainly have. Twice as a matter of fact.
Fantastic place. Fantastic place. Not as good as Adelaide, but fantastic.
So event number 6 will be getting underway very shortly.
It's a long bloody race, this one. What's this race? It's been going on forever.
Yeah, good old tractor race.
The old tractor race, eh?
Yep.
Well, I fancy the bloke at the front in the orange tractor. He looks like he's been leading the whole race. I reckon he's obviously got the right tyres on or something. This bloke's falling back all the time. Get on with it, son.
So as I was saying, event number 6, the starters, if you'd like to have your pen at the ready. South Wales 2, 9 times Australian champion Gary Rush. On the outside of Rush we have Jeffrey Leask, Ian Lewis, the Pizza Hut Sprint Cars, heat number 3, event number 6 on the card, and Bunker jumped ahead of Chas Calandro on the start, and John Dawson was having nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Everybody was ready for a start except the starter.
Yes, that was deemed an unfair start. As
again, the yellow flag is aloft. We've got 8 laps on the Coca-Cola counter. This is Pizza Hut Sprint Car, heat number 3, event 6 on the program.
And we've got green for go, and that's exactly what Chas Calandro's done. On the inside, Bunker trying to fight back with everything he's got at the moment down the back chute. Gary Rush gets it sideways, and he's swallowed up by about 3 or 4 cars. Lewis up near the fence. Tomlinson spins infield. Oh, gee, spectacular action here. The Sprint Cars, they are putting on a fine exhibition of driving. And come on, show your support for the 2 race leaders. We've got 2 South Australians out there and doing us proud at the moment. Chas Calandro, the biggest moment of his life here for Sprint Auto Parts. He's leading out of corner number 2. Wayne Bunker, SA27, up there in 2nd. Jeffrey Lease driving very well up there in 3rd, followed by 9 times Australian champion, the New South Welshman himself, Gary Rush. Back behind them is running in 5th position. It's Victoria's own Ian Lewis. Then it's back to just coming round now. Victoria number 3 would be Rob Rankin, and also Tommy Tomlinson.
Let's have a look at this. We've got 4.5 laps to go, and Gary Rush is hot to trot through turn 4 here. He's coming in and under. No, not quite this time. Trying to pick up that 3rd position. The full race marks go at the moment. around about a quarter of a lap lead. We got Chascalandro, car 33, out there and running and doing it well. Wayne Bunker, car 27 in second position. This race for third, John, very interesting.
Yes, I was speaking to Jeff Leask earlier in the pits tonight, and he told me he would just be happy if he could finish each and every race he competed in. And I'll tell you what, he's giving Gary Rush a real run for his money at the moment, as Chascalandro is now being hounded by Wayne Bunker. I'll tell you what, we've got a few separate little races in one here as they go down the back chute. 1.5 laps remaining. This is amazing stuff here. The two South Australians are going at it hammer and tong, and we've got Jeff Leask and Gary Rush not giving each other an inch at the moment. And back there rounding out the top 5 is the fly Ian Lewis. So getting back to the front of the field, half a lap remaining. How about a big, huge South Australian welcome? Chascalandro, the checkered flag at the ready. Come on, let's hear it. Wayne Bunker, the other South Australian, in for second. Gary Rush just gets home for third position, I feel there, JT, over Jeff Leask, who really did everything right. I didn't quite see corner number 4, but going out of 7, we know it is Graham Mason. This one, the Foundation South Australia Sprint Cars, heat number 4. Get ready for the grounder shake. Here we go. We have a lofted yellow, and no, the starter once again is unhappy with the way these cars have formed up, and as a result just walks away from the field, turns his back. And here we have a black flag with a white stripe coming out. And they would be more than happy to have a word with you. So here they go out of corner number 4 for Foundation South Australia. Heat number 4 of the Sprint Cars, event number 7 on the program. And the green has been given Anderson. A magnificent dive up the inside, but the Western Australian is certainly flying their colours high at the moment as he goes down the back chute for the first time. But I'll tell you what, David Anderson has impressed me as he gives Ron Quickie a hit from behind. Gee, the Western Australian would be savage about that. He's gone from leading the race to right up the back. He throws his arms up in despair and parks the car on the track. The yellow's been thrown out, and I tell you what, he is not a happy racer at the moment. Ron Quickie is very savage, believe you me.
And a little dangerous thing to do, stopping out there.
And I tell you what, I reckon the motor may have stalled there, and the steward is shaking his head here.
Rear of field,
we've been told. Coca-Cola counter. Let's try once more. Third time lucky, perhaps. Ron Quickie versus Kevin Condren, Darryl Downing, David Anderson, Max Dunsley, Kevin McCullum, Graham Mason, and a couple of other drivers. The Foundation South Australia Sprint Cars, heat number 4, and the green flag drops, and the action flies into corner number 1. It's Ron Quickie this time leading. Up there in second, the New South Welshman Kevin Condren. SA's 97, Darryl Downing runs in third, but for how long, one asks. Oh, David Anderson has taken the bit between his teeth, and he cruises right around the outside, but Downing, with plenty of guts and determination, holds him out on the inside. Now Anderson back on the inside. There could be a big manoeuvre, and yes, Anderson makes it on the inside, but Quickie has now managed to get about a 4 or 5 car buffer. Condren up there in second placing after winning the feature last Friday night, and the Australian champion in Max Dumsney has been unusually subdued so far tonight. Maybe he's boxing, saving everything to the final event. Who knows, but with 5 laps remaining, it's Ron Quickie, and he's doing it well at the moment as he flies down the back chute into corner number 3. Condren still holding down second position, but the driver that has really impressed me tonight has been David Anderson, driving out of New South Wales for Wagga Mobile Cranes. Goes for the inside line, and he is really on the gas at the moment.
Have a look at that blue car of Anderson's down the back straight, as you say, Jono. He is absolutely flying, and very, very good indeed. The quick car right out in front and running. Ron Quickie out there showing the way it's done. Look at Anderson.
Gee, I'll tell you what, Max Dumsey, the car may have momentarily popped out of gear there as he slowed down, and Colby battling to go around the outside of Dumsney, and does so in corner number 3.
Good driving.
Dramas here. Dumsney is beginning to drop back through the field. I think he's got a problem. He's dropping back dramatically through the field. So the order, here he is, Ron Quickie coming through for the white flag. 1 lap remaining. Team Quit and Castro, his sponsors, would be loving this at the moment. David Anderson certainly is not being outdone in second, and this would put Anderson in a very healthy point situation after 2 heats. The checkered flag. How about a huge South Australian round of applause? Ron Quickie takes the checkered flag. Victoria, or New South Wales I should say, 37. David Anderson comes in behind him in second. Kevin Condren for third. Fourth position, of course, unofficially going to SA 97, Darryl Downing. But I'll tell you what, he doesn't look like any kind of a slouch at all. He is really handling.
Mate, he's feeling quick.
Well.
He's been out there before, I can tell you that much. I bet you he is. I bet you he didn't get conned into standing next to the fence like I did a while ago. I finished up like a bloody Dalmatian. I had brown spots all over me. But it's fantastic to see people that support motorsport and get the opportunity to come out and do something like this, because this guy's obviously put a lot of money behind motorsport all over the world. I would assume that'd be right.
Yes,
all over the world, and he knows what it's all about. I don't think he wants to stop though. I think we're never going to get him off. He's having a good time. Oh, there we go. He's got the flick now by that bloke in that fantastic dinner suit, the black and white one.
Number 11 from 4 we have Brad Scotcher. Number 63. And his teammate, number 64, Kimmy Cottrell, goes out of position. Number 5, Jimmy Gibbs from pole position, and Murray Bridge 95, Kim Montague goes out of position. Number 10, as I said, Heat 3 of the Street Stocks, the automotive dismantlers of Australia. And who's your tip, mate?
Mate, I'm going to go for the meat and the sandwich. Number 2 there in between the two, the blue number 2 car.
That's Knowlesy, Darren Knowles.
Go Knowlesy, son. Show a bit of guts, boy. Push him into the wall. Whoa.
He skims the wall and he's still got to the accelerator, flat to the boards. Oh, an amazing set of circumstances there, but Jimmy Gibbs is leading this one as Darren Knowles tries to get through on the inside. Car number 63, Kimmy Cottrell's up there in 3rd, followed by Gary Wesley. Brian Donegan, after his brush with the wall, is up there running in 5th position, followed by Brad Scotcher and a few of the other cars, namely Leanne Weller, number 54, and car number 50, Mike Mahar. But the action is certainly at the front of the field at the moment. It's Jimmy Gibbs, car number 67, and he's certainly doing his sponsors proud. I speak of Corporate Motor Garage and Sign Max as he makes his way out of corner number 4. Knowlesy looks for the big slingshot.
Go for it, Knowlesy, go for it, son.
And watch him go. Streamline roller shutters. That's one of his sponsors at the moment. Out of corner number 2 they go, and car number 63, Kim Cottrell, is certainly not out of the running back there in 3rd. And neither is Gary Wesley, car number 49, but Mike Mahar and Leanne Weller having a great dice back there for about 6th and 7th positions respectively on the track. So with 4 laps remaining, and Knowlesy still can't seem to find a way.
Come on, Knowlesy, son, you're all over the track like a mad woman's breakfast. Get on with the game, son. Get on with the game.
So halfway down the back chute, car number 2, Darren Knowles is trying every trick in the book to get past our race leader as he comes out of corner number 4. But I reckon Gibbsy's got his measure at the moment. Into corner number 1 they go with 3 laps remaining. Kim Cottrell still back there in 3rd position, followed by Gary Wesley. Then car number 64, Brad Scotcher. Maris Velox, Mike Mahar, I should say. 54, Leanne Weller. And car number 95, Kim Montague. We've got a lap car, Cyril O'Connor. Car number 3, will that car have a...
Use the traffic, son. Use the traffic. Use the traffic.
Through corner number 1, here they go. Gibbs on the outside. He seems to have a very good line there, and Knowlesy will in fact get a little bit held up by Cyril O'Connor. Through no fault of O'Connor's. Through corner number 3 they go. Our race leader gets a little sideways, the white flag. All he's got to do is keep it nice and tidy for 440 metres of Speedway Park. 1 more lap to go. Halfway, this car is running mid-track at the moment as they come down the back chute. Jimmy Gibbs, number 67. Darren Knowles certainly won't give up. He will keep on trying till he sees that checkered flag, and he is well and truly past it. So out of corner number 4, car number 67, Jimmy Gibbs accepts the checkered flag from John Dawson. Car number 2, your pick, Rock and Roll Roddy, comes in for second position, and car number 63 driving for Dilato, Kim Cottrell, gets in for 3rd position just ahead of car number 49, Gary Wesley. Then it's back to Brad Scotcher, Maris Velox, Mike Mahar, Leanne Weller, and Kim Montague rounding out the field. Stuart?
Yep, I'll go for Stewie.
So here we go, the Caruso Crash Super Sedans Division number 1. So they are our top division of super sedans in this state at the moment.
And they're away.
Flag, there it is. Peter Drew got a good start on the outside, but Stephen Miller, after winning the feature last Friday night, is certainly on the gas around the outside. He travels, and he's just put a number on Stevie Stewart, who hasn't had many laps this season, so he's just feeling his way into it. But the track is certainly coming in very good up high at the moment. And Stephen Miller is definitely using it. He was last Friday running right up high, trying to hook his car in as best as he possibly can. So they travel down the back chute, and now Stevie Stewart is beginning to get his act together. But Stephen Miller washes out, gets a heap of understeer, and loses 3 or 4 positions as a result. Cop that. Sean Middleton through on the inside. Number 95 driving for ROH Wheels and Wideline Transport. But Peter Drew is in a little bit of strife there. He slowed down the back straight, but now gets the car back in a straight line and tries to get the power to the ground. But Stevie Stewart, he is really on the charge.
Go for it, son. Don't let that pink thing get ya.
The Blair Auto Auto Parts car of Billy Miller, number 77, is on the outside, but Peter Drew is having a few problems. The car is obviously not quite set up the way he'd like at the moment, but Sean Middleton has been a driver to really impress in this one. He's come from about 6th or 7th in the starting grid, and now currently hovers in 4th position as Stephen Miller runs right up near the wall, but our race leader is still Peter Drew, number 90, as he goes through corners 3 and 4, and he's doing a fine job at the moment. He comes by, 3 laps remaining on the Coca-Cola counter, of course 5 down, but Bill Miller has now managed to get back by Stevie Stewart, of course driving for Dry Creek Wreckers, and Sean Middleton still back there in 4th with Rocky Caruso trying to feel his way through on the inside of Stephen Miller, who flies into corner number 3. Look out as he heads towards the wall. Ah, gee, spectacular stuff here. So they go out of corner number 2, and Peter Drew has got his hands full because Billy Miller, he really drove exceptionally well in the 2 practice nights we had here before opening night last Friday, and is really coming good. The white flag indicating one more lap to our leader. Of course, I speak of Peter Drew. Bill Miller for Blair Auto Auto Parts on the inside, maybe looking for the big dive. It's a race for power down the back straight. Into corner number 3. We certainly will go down to the wire. The checkered flag is at the ready. Miller on the inside. Peter Drew just hangs on by the narrowest of margins. Bill Miller comes in for 2nd.
Stevie Stewart 3rd, mate. I'm in the money again.
Yes, you
Stick with me for the Quinella.
Yes, you're getting consistent top 3 finishes, mate, and certainly improved
the cars they drive. One of the nice guys on the circuit driving the Ford Sierra is Glenn Seaton. Glenn, welcome to Adelaide.
Thank you. I'm quite enjoying it so far. I've been along to Warrnambool before, and as well the circuits in Melbourne, and I quite enjoy the sprint cars.
Glenn, how did you start off? Did you start off like these other guys in Speedway?
No, really, I started off in go-karts at the age of 14 and worked through them for 3 years, and then went straight into touring cars. And I've always had big support through my family with my father, and he backs me up now with the team we've got now.
Of course, the name Bo Seaton for us oldies goes back a long time. I guess he knows a bit more about racing than most of us would like to think about.
Well, yes, that's right. He sort of started motor racing in 1961, which is a fair while ago, and he's got a lot of experience behind him. He's helped me a lot throughout the years, and the team's been very, very successful this year with the Sierra, except for the Nissans have been very dominant, but besides for that, our team's done fairly well. So,
ladies and gentlemen, one of the nice guys of Australian tour car racing, would you please give a big welcome to Glenn Seaton.
Going out of 5, Wayne Bunker, SA number 27, and on the outside of Bunker we have Jamie Cobby, SA 16, driving the Jarvis Ford Road and Track Dyno JSR car. Then David Anderson goes out of position number 7, and on the outside of Anderson is Max Dumsney for John Sidney Racing, and we are about to go racing. Believe you me, this one will be a hot one. The Pizza Hut Sprint Cars, this will be heat number 5, and will be an absolute scorcher. Oh, the action at the front of the field, and the green flag. There it is, Tomlinson versus McCullum into corner number 1. Gee, the action is certainly fierce. Dumsney and Cobby into the wall they go. So 2 cars have brushed the wall. We have a yellow light stoppage as cars. We have a flash of the red light, and John Dawson tries frantically to slow these cars down. The Pizza Hut Sprint Cars, heat number 5. Tommy gets a good jump, then slows down to make sure it's an even start. And Tommy, a great start through turns 1 and 2. McCullum's up there, but Jeff Leask around the outside. He is certainly not taking the foot out of the bucket. Watch him go right up around the wall. Oh, spectacular manoeuvre. Can he pull it off? No, because McCullum moves up high, and thus allowing David Anderson to sweep through on the inside. So no guts, no glory, I guess they say. But unfortunate there for Leask. Couldn't get the job done, but this time he can on the inside. But in the meantime, Tommy Tomlinson, he is absolutely scorching over the terra firma. Watch him go at the moment, the JSR Racing Sprint Car. His sponsors, West End Pizza Hut and Pagel Glass, another one of them. Tommy, this is a big moment for him. The all-important accumulation of points. But Darryl Downing is hot on his heels at the moment.
Whoa.
2 South Australians on the inside. Well, this is amazing stuff here. Into corner number 3, Anderson has been one of the real movers through the field, and in fact I reckon would be top point scorer after this one if he can just keep the car in a straight line. But I tell you what, he's catching our two race leaders. Jeff Leask back there in 4th position, followed by Wayne Bunker and Kevin McCullum bringing up the rear of the field as Downing in all sorts of trouble.
Tell you what, with 3 laps to go, Tommy Tomlinson, this is the moment of your life tonight out there in car 10. The car's bucking and weaving down the back. We've got a race there for position number 1. All 3 cars. Look at Anderson charging into turn 3. Down the main straight, Anderson may take the high road here, round the side of Darryl Downing. Oh, look, underneath.
Oh, there's been a roll. Jeff Leask down in front of us. A solid red light situation. I didn't see what happened, but maybe we can pick up reception with Mal Rosenzweig. There's been a severe rollover. Jeffrey Leask is lying adjacent to the wall. In fact, I think he's actually touching the wall.
A heap for 5. We've got at the start on that, 3 laps to go on the Coca-Cola car. Now let's have a look at this. We've got car 10. Tommy Tomlinson still out in front, picking up there. Darryl Downing behind him, and David Anderson losing a little bit of time there as he pushes out wide. Downing trying to get through to attack Tommy Tomlinson. Tomlinson going up wide. Will Downing get through? On the inside, trying to get through. Tomlinson coming down to block him possibly. Downing nudging, pushing through. Darryl Downing in through on the inside. Tommy Tomlinson relegated to 2nd position. Anderson waiting to poise to pounce.
And yes, with 1 lap remaining, Darryl Downing, a superb passing manoeuvre, and he is really on the gas at the moment as he makes his way out of corner number 2. Anderson on the inside, can he pass Tommy Tomlinson? And yes, he has done so. So Mr. Pizza Hut back to 3rd position. How about a huge round of applause? Darryl Downing, the South Australian, takes a checkered flag in fine style. David Anderson, number 37, would have to be top point scorer. In 2nd position, and Tommy Tomlinson back there after leading with 4 laps remaining, finishing in 3rd. And just running through the field once again, car number 3, Victoria 3, Robbie Rankin going out of 1. From 2, SA number 7, Graham Mason. Chas Calandro after his heat victory earlier goes off 3. Then Kevin Condren from 4. Ron Cricky goes out of 5. Gary Rush from 6. And the Victorian Ian Lewis, the flyer number 95, going out of position number 7 for Foundation South Australia. And John Dawson ignites this field into action as they go into corner number 1. And Robbie Rankin got a dream start as he makes his way down the back straight for the first time. Graham Mason looks to be the real charger at the moment as he throws his car sideways. But have a look at Ian Lewis. He started tail end Charlie, but he's already passed the car and attempts to pass 2 more, and does so on the inside of Condren. The dust is certainly flying here, and Gary Rush is certainly coming good when it counts here. The 3rd round of heat races as Ian Lewis is trying to follow him through, but it's Robbie Rankin for Florida and Sudmo. He's got a whole heap of sponsors will try and get through them one way or another. Back there in 2nd, still the South Australian Graham Mason. Gary Rush holding down a fine 3rd placing at the moment, considering he started back there in 6th position or so. And then it's back to Ian Lewis, who's battling with Chas Calandro, followed by Kevin Condren and Ron Quicky, driving for Quit and Team Castrol number 99.
Have a look at Gary Rush into turn 3, down into turn 4. This is what makes an Australian champion several times over. Gary Rush out and passing Graham Mason, and at the moment after Victoria number 3, Rankin. Rush just having a quiet moment there, but now off and running. There's just under 3 laps to go now as Victoria number 3, Rankin comes through. Rush behind him, and then Mason. Can Rush do it, John?
Yes, that's the question, JT, because Gary Rush is trying to run wide down the straights, but watch his line through corners 3 and 4. He runs right down near the gutter, and there seems to be a little bit of extra traction down there on the inside. Up on the outside, Robbie Rankin. Rush seizes the opportunity on the inside, but no, Rankin had the momentum advantage from the outside running. Who have to watch himself now, because Gary Rush is certainly trying, although he's just split the gutter with 1 lap remaining, and this has been a great drive from Robbie Rankin. He certainly needs these points. The Victorian Ian Lewis is going at it toe-to-toe at the moment with Graham Mason, but this is it. The Victorian's driven extremely well in this one. He runs up high. Rush still staying on the gutter. The checkered flag is out. Victorian Robbie Rankin takes the points. Gary Rush, New South Wales 2 in for 2nd, and SA number 7 Graham Mason back there behind Rush for 3rd position after having a battle royal.
Would, of course they would, mate. Sorry, I was having a bit of a dream there. I was out in the middle during that last sprint car race, or the one before actually, and it's taken me all this time to get back up here. And I was very comforted by the gentleman who was looking after me down there. He said, if one of these cars starts to come towards you, he said, don't move. He said, they'll get out of your way. Very bloody comforting, I thought. And we're away.
Yes, the green flag has been given, and Rick the Animal Scu's got a real good
He
start.
did.
Who's your tip in this one,
Mate,
mate?
I'm going for 58 again.
You're going for 58? Well, he's beginning to charge through the field. That's Daryl Payne after starting a fair way back in the grid. Will he get through the middle? That's the question, because Murray Bridge 75, Steve Allen, he must have got a very good start and now takes over the lead. So Daryl Payne is trying to get through on the inside of the Animal Scuse and does so, and now sets his sights on our race leader. Will he go round the outside? I reckon he will, as he hooks into mid-track and takes over the lead. Oh, he's been hit from behind. Look out. But no, Daryl Payne for
Animal
Salisbury
stuff,
Auto
animal
Wreckers.
stuff. What a mongrel.
And speaking of the animal, watch him go. He's flying around the outside, but Robert Welch is beginning to pick up the couple of drivers in front of him. And I'll tell you what, the Victorian number 30 not doing too bad for himself at the moment, running in about 6th position.
But running away with it, car number 30. Car number 58, sorry, Daryl Payne. And he's out in front, mate, and I can't see him catching him from here because he's been driving well the last 2 nights. But there's a big dice back here going for 6th and 7th or 5th and 6th positions. Car number 30 and the little white job there. But they're spreading out a bit and looking as though the animal's got a fight on his hands here. There's somebody right up his rear.
Yeah, the papa, that's Robert Welch. He's really having a ding-dong battle with the animal at the moment, as you said, and the animal takes him up near the wall. Of course, unintentional, as they go down the back.
Absolutely, the animal wouldn't do anything else.
Side by side into corner number 3. That's where the action is, because we've got the animal versus the papa out of corner number 4. They go, and Welchie takes him around the outside. We've had a rollover. The Victorian, Rob Payton, he's done a rollover on corner number 4, and he's brought down the yellow light, and driver number 57 was involved there in that incident. The white car number 52, I'm sorry, there.
Yeah, get
Garth
it right.
Raymond.
Get it right, son.
Well, he was doing a spinner. Line goes by. Andrea Payne driving for Salisbury Auto Wreckers, Sign Makers, Tomo's Exhaust, Rover Mowers and Payne Racing. So a list of sponsors there, and it's certainly good to see. So it looks as though we are about to go racing with Daryl Payne.
Yellow lights are flashing.
To lead the field in, and the animal getting very anxious. He's looking to go around the outside.
Yeah, you can see some raw meat in the back of the car in front of him.
So there we have the green flag, and the race is well underway.
And the animal's off.
Animal, a marvellous start, and goes into 2nd position. But Daryl Payne, well, will he pull away again with 3.5 laps remaining? Gee, I think he will, because the animal's back there having a magical battle with Steve Allen from Murray Bridge, and then back behind them is one of the Red Crusaders will pick that car up as it comes through. Would have to be car number 26, Rob Gowling for SA Motor Spares, Dialer World and Advanced Auto Salvage. So the animal going at it down the back straight. Have a look at him go against Murray Bridge 75. So it's Steve Allen versus Rick the Animal Scuce. Who will get the upper hand? Allen right up near the wall.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, I think he's applied it. Oh, the animal tries to really square him up there on the corner. Tried a huge T-bone and didn't quite come off. So he's really hungry, so to speak, at the moment.
He's covering more ground than the early settlers.
I tell you what, he was in a heap of strife there, more strife than Flash Gordon, as a matter of fact, as he tried to line up
Listen over that
Steve
dirty
Allen.
talk.
With 1 lap remaining, it's still Daryl Payne from Murray Bridge, number 58. He's doing a fine job from Murray Bridge 75, Steve Allen. And I tell you what, if the animal doesn't get a hurry up, I reckon car number 26 will just about pass him. That's Rob Gowling back there in 4th position, and Andrea Payne is certainly not off the pace, rounding out the field at the moment. But the checkered flag is out for Daryl Payne, driving for Salisbury Auto Wreckers, and he's avoided all the trouble and come through unscathed. So Murray Bridge 75, Steve Allen in behind him for 2nd, and Rick the Animal Scuce, car number 69. He was involved in just about everything in that race, eventually finishing of course in an unofficial 3rd placing. From 10, from position number 9, Billy Miller, number 77. Car number 95, Sean Middleton, starts from 8. And from position number 11, number 90, Peter Drew. This is for ROH Wheels, a super sedan feature. 20 grueling laps up on the Coca-Cola counter, and we are well underway in this one. Let's have a look at our race leader, car number 5, Brian Atkinson, driving for EDES Dunnings Engineering, and he's leading a whole pack of cars. The charge of the Light Brigade down the back chute into corner number 3. It's Trevor Datson versus Lee Edwards. Tony Howlett beginning to move through the field, as is Rocky Caruso. Car number 7, Joni Miller and Sean Middleton doing pretty good at the moment. Billy Miller, car number 77. 3 and 4 cars wide in the super sedans. This is what we'd like to see. Action aplenty as one of the cars is spun at Stephen Miller. Car number 6 for Blair Arthur Auto Parts racer. but we have the lofted yellow flag, and it's good to see we are about to commence the ROH Super Sedan feature once again. 19 laps up on the Coca-Cola counter, and Brian Atkinson leads the field in rather sedately that time round, but the green flag has been given, and Tony Howlett, he's trying to go right up around the outside, but he's been balked at the moment. Caruso, the big mover, look out!
Oh,
So here we go, the lofted yellow flag. Brian Atkinson to lead the field in for ROH, this Super Sedan feature. 1 lap down, 19 still remaining, and we have the green flag, and Lee Edwards got the best of the start that time, but watches up high. Tony Howlett, bit of a snaky there through corner number 1. Edwards up near the fence, just about brushes it. Howlett slams in the side of him, and action aplenty here in the Super Sedan. So our race leader, it's Atkinson, but on the inside, Trevor Datson. He got the power to the ground, the best of the rest at the moment, and he's leading the field through corners 1 and 2. Atkinson back there in second, followed by Rocky Caruso, who looks to put a number on Atkinson at the moment, and we've had another spin down the back chute. Oh, have a look at that, a 360-degree turn, and Donga Hammer is sitting facing the wall. Has he kept the machine going? Yes, he has.
And the green light's still going, so we're still racing.
Yes, and that really is great to see as we keep the racing well and truly going, and Caruso tries to get through on the inside of Atkinson, and this time, Atkinson sideways, and the track beginning to become very slick down the back straight as Caruso holding down to second position, and now sets his sights on our race leader, which is of course Trevor Datson, who has got one of the side panels on the car beginning to flap loose down the back chute. So plenty of drama here in the Super Sedans, of course.
And there's
their
another
last
one
race for the
gone.
night. Another one of the
Stephen
Millers. Yep.
In car number 6.
Exactly the same place
We've still
as
got
before.
I think there's a slippery track down there, but he's off the track and not causing problems. So we've got the green light and still going. And a big challenge here down the back
is
straight.
a rather precarious position
yellow
on the
light's
track,
on.
Roddy.
Yep.
Yes, the stewards have deemed that
Had a lot of trouble last week on the track. I think he had a fire at the rear of his car at one stage on the infield, but he seems to have got that all sorted out. We have the raised yellow flag, and coming into turn number 1 for a restart, and we're away again.
So with 4 laps down, 16 remaining up on the Coca-Cola counter, and it's Rocky Caruso who asserts his authority there on the restart and makes his way into the lead. So as the dust flies down the back straight, Joan Miller looks to go around the outside. Bill Miller back there in 4th. Sean Middleton dicing for 5th position, but Trevor Datson has taken Joni Miller up high, and thus allowing Middleton and Billy Miller to get through on the inside at the moment. And Stevie Stewart is also beginning to make his way through the field. Peter Drew back there holding down 7th position as Sean Middleton gets it a little bit sideways. Out of corner number 4 they come with 14 laps remaining. It's still Rocky Caruso driving for Caruso Crash. Through corners 1 and 2, we labelled Caruso with the tag Mr. Consistency from last season, and he's certainly driving very well at the moment. So it's Joan Miller, or is it Bill Miller? No, it's Bill round the outside.
And all the action's back for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th,
we've had
and
one
6th.
hit the wall.
Hit
Is
the
it
wall.
Joni Miller in the pink Blair Alpha Auto Parts car, one of the 3 in this race at the moment? And she is sitting stationary just at the start of the Speedway Park. Adelaide sign just entering pit corner.
Mate,
Have Peter Drew, car number 90. The ROH Super Sedan feature, event number 13 on the program. And the green flag, there it is, and Caruso rockets off the starting line on the inside, but Bill Miller trying everything he knows to go right up around the outside. Caruso striving for traction, but Middleton must have made a blinding start. He's up there sitting in 3rd position, but Trevor Datson, the meat in the middle of the sandwich, so to speak, at the moment, as Middleton really seems to be the one to watch. Car number 95, driving for Hunter, reconditioned engines there, and he's currently sitting in 3rd position. Trevor Datson back there in 4th. We could have a change for the lead. Down the back, will there be a dive on corner number 3? That's the question. The pink car of Billy Miller for Blair Alpha Auto Parts. Out of corner number 4, can he get there? Both cars are really striving for the ultimate traction at the moment. Middleton still hovering in 3rd position. Datson, Peter Drew, take your pick. Cars are really bunching themselves up at the front of the field now. Stevie Stewart also back there, and Stephen Miller a little bit off the pace at the moment.
And mate, this is anybody's race. Nobody's got to break away. In fact, I like the look of car number 90. He's made up a lot of ground and he's very smooth. I reckon a big chance. We've still got a long way to go. We've still got 10 laps to go, and this could be anybody's race.
Yes, you are certainly right there as our race leader exits corner number 4. And Miller, have a look at him go around the outside. He's finding traction up near the fence. That's where he runs. That's where there's more moisture. As he runs right up wide, he's got the advantage, but no, he's blocked by Caruso. So 2 different lines coming into play. Watch Miller. Will he go up high again? That looks to be the go. Can he swing it down tight and get underneath? No, not this time, with 8 laps remaining, because Peter Drew is beginning to make ground up on both of them. This time Miller runs too high and clips the wall. In he goes, and he's lost about 5 or 6 positions. Thank you very much, as all those cars managed to get through on the inside. So he paid the penalty there of running just too close to the wall.
Mate, I think what was the trouble was that Rocky was looking about as wide as an MTT bus. He just couldn't get past him. He was holding a really good line, but he's lost it. He's lost it.
Oh, look out, cars going everywhere to try and avoid him, as Bill Miller slid the car onto the infield, and he's called it a day. So 2 pink cars sitting on the infield, 2 Blaratha Auto Parts machines, number 7 and 77 respectively.
And
as the race looks to be declared, the checkered flag has been given, and Peter Drew looks to be the victor, car number 90. Well, surprises are plenty here, because Sean Middleton, will he be given second position? Yes, I think so. And that makes it 2 seconds in a row for Middleton, which is a real sterling performance. Trevor Datson may have in fact got in for 3rd position. Gate is being left open as these cars prepare to give you a real treat. They will form up in Knoxville National style. So just when you think they are about to fire off, they will in fact form up in Knoxville style, which is really spectacular to see. And wave your programs, pick out the driver you will support in this one. This is the big event, the huge Australian Sprint Car Masters Final. And I'll tell you what, we have assembled 18 of the best sprint cars you could ever hope to find. And here they are. This is the grand final. This is all the heat races put together. And the drivers are out there. They are all pumped up. They are raring to go. And here it is, the Knoxville salute. 4 sprint cars wide around Speedway Park. Pick out your driver, come on. Give them a round of applause. They have outlaid hundreds of thousands of dollars to put on a wonderful show for you here tonight. And come on, show your appreciation down the back chute. I can't hear you. Into corner number 3, come on. Wave those programs. We've got a South Australian up there on the front row. And this really is tremendous to see. Look at the talent out there, JT. Absolutely wonderful.
Wave your programs. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. 4 wide up there in the Knoxville salute. 700 horsepower, most of them a very impressive sight, and we have one hell of a race in front of us.
So the cross flags are now being put up in the air. John Dawson will control the start if he deems it fair. These drivers will rocket into turn number 1, and off they will go towards the 25 laps, which will take them to the checkered flag. And there we go, the pace car's been given the signal. It looks as though it's too late for the drivers back in the pits. The pit gate is about to close and clunk shut in a pretty ominous way.
John.
So here we go, can we get a start, JT? That's the question. The pace car, JD's getting all fired up down here in front of us.
Looks good.
The Foundation South Australian Sprint Car Masters Final. A South Australian on the front row. Here we go, let's go, racing out of corner number 4, and we are off. Oh, and a roll! Darryl Downing spins on, he kept it going.
Oh, would you believe
I've
that?
never seen anything so
97.
astronomical in my whole life. Darryl Downing did a 360 and he actually kept the car going. Extraordinary stuff here from the South Australian pilot. That is absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe what has just gone on here at the start of the Masters Final. But Ian Lewis has really got a blinder. He's leading Australian 9 times champion. Gary Rush is up there in second. David Anderson's holding on to 3rd position and running in 4th. There's been a problem. Robbie Rankin, look out. Drivers are just about clipping in. Can he get his car onto the infield? No, I'm not sure whether he can, and his car has come to a stop just as Gary Rush made a big dive for the lead.
Yellow light, that's Darryl Downing every which way, including loose.
Gee, you're not wrong. I can't believe that.
Didn't have a stoppage at some time during this race. Yellow flag aloft.
Will we get the green? No. John Dawson was unhappy with the way the field formed up, and the cars 2 and 3 cars wide as the yellow light still appears around the circuit, and these drivers are certainly very anxious because there really is 2 races from here, JT. The race to the first corner. And the green flag has been given. It's caught the drivers unawares. Darryl Downing. No, it was McCullum. Was it McCullum? No, it was in actual fact Darryl Downing rode Tommy Tomlinson's rear wheel, so he's been involved in absolutely everything, Darryl Downing. But Ian Lewis has got a bit of understeer going into corner number 3. And on the inside, Ron Cricky is really charging hard early. He's battling it out with Chas Calandro, one of the South Australian boys. So Gary Rush on the inside, can he get there down the back chute? That's the million-dollar question at the moment. Through corner number 4 they go, and Lewis still hanging on grimly to the lead. But Gary Rush has really got to the sensation at the moment. He wants the number 1 Guernsey, and he wants it bad at the moment, so to speak. Down the back chute they go. 21 and a bit laps remaining. They cruise out of corner number 4, and the horsepower out on the circuit is really phenomenal at the moment. The order, Lewis, then it's back to Gary Rush. David Anderson holding down 3rd. Ron Cricky has already moved into 4th position and is really on the pace. Chas Calandro back there in 5th. Tommy Tomlinson, Max Dumsney, then the next driver through should be Graham Mason, followed by Wayne Bunker, but the race for the lead, Gary Rush on the inside. Can he make it an incredible 5? Masters on the trot. You will soon find out at corner number 4. Gary Rush, a will stand. The horsepower underneath this guy's bonnet is really outstanding at the moment. He's running the gutter. The first 3 cars are really close together. This is exciting stuff here in the sprint cars. Through corner number 3, there's a cushion starting to form, and Gary Rush, with all his experience, as Robbie Rankin's car is coming to a halt. Can he make it on the infield? No, or maybe yes. Gary Rush nearly balked the machine, and Anderson's taking him around the outside. So some really great stuff here. No, Rush again. The setup is not working. He's pulling wheel stands everywhere, and Ron Cricky has really impressed me with the way he's driving. He started from position number 7 and is already running in 4th position. Oh, what a humdinger, JT.
Tell you what, mate, Gary Rush might look spectacular coming out of that corner on 2 wheels, but it's not doing his forward motion any good whatsoever. Anderson's the man I'm watching at the moment. Can he get down on the inside there, down the back chute? David Anderson been impressive all night and continuing to be so. Lewis, Anderson, then Rush. He's certainly not out of it, but Anderson chipping away, staying down on that pole line, eating away down the back. We've got 13 and a half laps to go, and one hell of a race.
Oh, what a tremendous battle. Anderson goes, he's gone! Up and over 4 times. David Anderson, he's put a big dent in the fence. Oh, gee, an astronomical coming together. There was running, there was not an inch between them. There was Ian Lewis, David Anderson, and gee, I tell you what, all it takes
on
is
the wild side, mate.
one little mistake, and gee, it's a good night nurse as David Anderson sitting on the wing. He's upside down. A really unfortunate incident, but I'll tell you what, you came to Speedway Park tonight expecting some major, be more sore in the morning when he wakes up. That will probably be the worst time for him. He's obviously bitterly disappointed as he walks straight back towards the pit gate.
Final, and we're waiting for a start. We've got the green flag, and let's have a look whether Gary Rush can get out there and clear out.
And Rush got a very good start off the line. Cricky still runs in second. Dumsney, a big lunge on the inside of Calandro, and he's overtaken him on the inside, as does Bunker and Mason into corner number 3. But Gary Rush, watch him go. He is absolutely bolting at the moment. He certainly knows when to bide his time and when to come good in these main events. Down the back chute, 12 and a half laps remaining. The Western Australian Ron Cricky currently runs in second position. Tommy Tomlinson, the first of the South Australians. This is grand to see Mr. Pizza Hut himself up there in third position, holding off the hard-charging Max Dumsney, who really looks to be coming home in a real big charge at the moment. Graham Mason holding down 5th position ahead of Chas Calandro, Wayne Bunker, Jeff Lees and Kevin Condren rounding out the field. But have a look at Gary Rush. He's certainly turned up the heat now. He's thrown the challenge out, and the drivers behind him are simply not answering the call. Rush has all the answers at the moment, but what will happen? Cricky runs in second, but I'll tell you what, Tommy Tomlinson currently runs in third, and this is a magnificent drive from Tommy.
Yes, unfortunately though, I think Tom has just been taken there. Max flying through on the inside in turn 3. A good drive so far, but have a look at Gary Rush. This is what makes him the master of sprint car racing in Australia. This is going to be probably 5 on a trot. He's got the car set up pretty well now, just hanging down on that pole line. As you said, John, he's opening up the lead further. He's throwing out the challenge, and nobody appears to be within striking distance of it.
I'll tell you what, it's a real shame that my stopwatch is on the blink at the moment because Gary Rush is running extremely fast around our Adelaide circuit. In fact, he's ripping it apart as he flies through corners 1 and 2. And back there in second is for the Quid team at Castro, Ron Cricky. But here comes Max Dumsney. He hasn't got Australia 1 on the tank of his car for nothing. He is really storming home at the moment. He runs out of corner number 4 and he's beginning to make some inroads on Cricky's second placing. Tommy Tomlinson holding down 4th at the moment, and Graham Mason, another South Australian, followed by Wayne Bunker, Kevin Condren and Jeff Leask battling it out with Chas Calandra, who must have had a few problems. But Gary Rush with 4.5 laps remaining. Gee, unless something rather unfortunate happens, one would feel that Gary Rush will walk away with this one. But I tell you what, one has certainly seen many an action-packed event in this particular race because Max Dumsney is really catching up to our second place driver. Can he do it, JT?
Down the back, yes, he's got only 3.5 laps to go. I don't think he's got the power to get up in a position to get past Ron Cricky, but let's have a look what's happened. Max Dumsney, as you say, Australian number 1, out there and hammering very hard. He has to get closer. He's got 2.5 laps to go. Rush is out, coming up to slower traffic. They won't bother him too much if he doesn't get held up. Let's have a look. Can Dumsney do it? He's got exactly 2 laps to go. Up on the inside, he's close, John. Down the back straight. Does he have the power underneath Ron Cricky? Is he going to do it through turn 3? Gets it nuzzling through. Beautiful passing manoeuvre. 1 to go.
Yes, he's certainly showing all his experience now, but Cricky, will he fight back on the inside? And Cricky straight into the fence, understeer. Straight into the fence goes Ron Cricky. The wing has been knocked off its struts. Gee, it looked as if a shocker gave way something in the front end, maybe a steering arm, as Gary Rush makes it 5 Australian Sprint Car Masters in a row. The champion, and he is in every sense of the word a champion, as Ron Cricky's car comes to a halt at the start of the Sprint Auto Parts, quarter way down the back chute.
Couldn't believe the luck. Something snapped there. He had no control over that car whatsoever. In fact, as he went around the fence, totally not steerable. So there you have it, a lot of drama. The checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Rush, the master of sprint car racing in Australia. Give him a hand as he comes down there through 1 and 2, down the back straight. Car 2, the Rushmobile.
What a fantastic feat, gee, I'll tell you what, that is miraculous. Gary Rush, through all the mayhem that was going on, and please don't make your way out of the arena just yet. We've got another event to go, of course, the Street Stock Final, and the way the Street Stocks have been going, we'll have stacks on the mill. I mean, we've already had it tonight, but the Street Stocks are really beginning to be a great class, and there will be some top racing in that one as Gary Rush, doing his victory circle with the checkered flag, pulls up in front of us. Max Dumsney really came home with a real strong charge, and the South Australian boy Tommy Tomlinson for Pizza Hut, Pagel Glass, and a number of other sponsors there. What a grand drive from Tommy, and it was good to see that Tommy got all of his bad luck over with last Friday night, and that such a great guy can come in 3rd place. And of course, at the first of the South Australians home, and I've got a sheet here in front of me that qualifies Tommy for a Holiday Inn at La Bella up at Warrnambool, and I think that is a free pass or a free weekend up at La Bella Holiday Inn up at Warrnambool. So good on you, Tommy, and it's now that time of the night when we cross down to Mal Rosie for all the presentation details.
Thank you, Mal.
Thank you, guys. Well, what bad luck for David Anderson there. Ron Cricky, rather. Running a good second, and then looked like the steering just went, and bingo, how quickly your luck and your fortune can change. But nevertheless, a great race. And have we got someone to present these trophies? Graham Lewis? I'm sure you're going to give a real big welcome to South Australia's Pizza King, Tommy Tomlinson. Tom?
Come on, let's hear it for Tommy Tomlinson, the first of the South Australians home.
Tom, congratulations, your trophy and your sash. Watch out, he'll give you a kiss. Tom, good to get a 3rd placing, hey.
Oh, this is the highlight of my career, in my last year of my career, so we're pretty happy. Delighted for the crew, and to think that we're going to be able to stand with Gary Rush and Max Dumpsey. That's the biggest thrill of my life. I hate to get there the way we got there with accidents to other people, particularly Dave Anderson, but we'll take it.
Tom, it's happened to you before today.
Well, it sure has after last week's start, so we're delighted. And I'd just like to thank my crew especially, how hard they worked last week, and they put together a good car for me tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sportsman himself, Tom Tomlinson. Graham Mason not here, so we'll go to second placing. I'm sure you give a rousing welcome to Australia #1, Max Dumpsey. Max, your trophy, your sash. No kiss from the lovely girl. Max, a lot of work done on the car to get you into that second placing.
Yeah, sure was. It wasn't one of our best nights tonight. We had our fair share of bad luck in the heat race with the birdcage breaking, and then early in the feature race, one of those boulders that jumped up off the track knocked our front brake line off, and then we didn't have any brakes. I think Tommy was suffering from the same trouble. It makes it awkward to drive out there without brakes, but we got them fixed on that red, and the car was good for the last 14 laps. There's no problem at all. And thanks everyone for coming, and thanks John and Bailey and the boys for doing a good job on the car.
Ladies and gentlemen, true champion Max Dumpsey. Let's hear it. Graham Mason's here, car number 7 from South Australia. Mace, a very creditable 4th placing, very quiet. Congratulations. Watch out, he'll kiss you, Mace. Mace, you must be fairly happy with a 4th placing like that.
I'm always happy to get a placing in a big race.
In the car?
Yeah, it's a credit to Mark and Ron and the boys. They've done a super job with it. You know, we don't always get it right, but tonight we got it right.
Well, Mace, a 4th placing is as good as anything, and we're all pleased to see you. So, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for 4th place, Graham Mason. And now, I wrote in the program 3. It's a misprint. It was 4, but now it's 5. I'm sure you're going to put your hands together for a true champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Rush. Gary, you got mobile after that first stoppage.
Well, you know, yeah, it's easy to run out front. It's easy to run up front, and the track weren't as good as it normally is tonight, but when you're running up front, it makes it easier for you, you know.
Gary, I said to you before the start of the race, was there any problems with the car? I noticed you squared the car up a couple of times. Is that just the track?
Yeah, it was a bit slick. Bit dry coming off this turn, and if you didn't watch it, it sucked you into this fence here. I got into that fence a couple of times, and I didn't want to do that, so I was a bit cautious up here.
Gary, I said to you last year, and I think the year before, spoke to you about it, but the Masters is really the opening for the sprint car season, and one that you dearly cherish, and now, what, 5 times? You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I'm always very happy to come to Adelaide and win the Masters, because it's been a good event, and it still is a good event, and well, it's the first major of the year, and you know, all these top drivers, they go collecting their major races. Like Max won them all last year, and well, we're starting a new year this time.
So is it going to be a Gary Rush year?
Well, we're geared up for one. We're geared up for one, but look, it's racing's a funny game, and I don't like making predictions.
Gary, it's good to see you here. Let's hope we see you back many, many more times throughout the year, and good luck for the rest of the year. And once again, congratulations on your 5th title.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me, and thank everyone for coming out and putting up with this track and the wind. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, new Adelaide Master retaining his title. Let's hear it for Gary Rush. Okay, so that's your Adelaide Master.
64, Jimmy Gibbs, 67 from 6. Rick Skuse from 7, Steve Allen from 5, and here we go, the Automotive Dismantlers of Australia, or the Remove All Rubbish Company Street Stock feature. Here we go, 15 laps up on the Coca-Cola counter, and the green flag has been given, and one driver's car has expired down here in front of us, and it's Murray Bridge 75, and that in fact will be Steve Allen. He's trying furiously to get out of the car, and out he hops as the Women for Wheels get to the scene very, very quickly, and it's a credit to them because Steve Allen certainly was out of that car very, very quickly, mate. And who's your tip for this one? We've still got green. Incredible with a fire inside the cockpit of the car, but out there and
that's
leading.
what you call a hot lap, mate.
Yes, we could call it a hot lap. Leanne Weller, the young lady, car number 54, she's really in a hurry at the moment because Kimmy Cottrell, number 64, behind her, can't seem to make any ground. And Knowlesy's back there battling with Mike Marr, followed by Wesley. Jimmy Gibbs is up there, Maris Velots, Andrea Payne, Kimmy Cottrell, another driver, Rob Payton, the Victorian, Brian Donegan, take your pick. Drivers are beginning to spread themselves out, and in just a short period of time, Leanne Weller is about to be gobbled up by the cars behind her, namely car number 64 in Brad Scotcher, one feels at the moment. Just looking for the program, I think it's Brad Scotcher driving 64, perhaps Kim Cottrell. Yes, it is, in fact, Brad Scotcher driving car number 64, but Darren Knowles for Streamline Roller Shutters. He's driving very well at the moment, car number 2, as he takes over the lead out of corner number 2. He runs Leanne Weller, battling with Kim Cottrell, Mike Marr, Gary Wesley, Jimmy Gibbs, Maris Velots, Kimmy Cottrell, Brian Donegan, Rob Payton, Andrea Payne, and then it's back to Robert Welch, car number 9, Rick the Animal Skews, car number 69, and car 52, Garth Raymond back there behind him, and then it's back to car number 26, Rob Gowling, and rounding out the entire order at the moment would have to be car number 3, which would be Cyril O'Connor, because here comes Knowlesy. Oh, look out, Scotcher gets it sideways in the Tirana and burns off on the infield, trying to make it back onto the main straight, and Mike Marr overtakes him, as does Wesley and Jimmy Gibbs for that matter, but Scotcher's back in there running, and Gibbs has got the advantage because he's running up high. He's got the advantage. Watch him go down the back chute, car number 67 on the outside, because that's where the action is, the drama. Wesley, Jim Gibbs right up near the fence. Mike Marr makes a big move on the inside and makes it into second position, but no, Wesley fighting back, and Brad Scotcher now getting back in the thick of things. Jimmy Gibbs holding down 5th or 6th position, but watch him go. He's maintaining the high road to China and looking quite comfortable at the moment.
And we've got one car slowing down on the outside of the track here at on turn 1. It's car number
48,
number 48, and there's some traffic coming up behind him. The Highlander crash car looks like it could be fairly terminal, but running around circulating very slowly, but there's lots of action around there around the back straight. There are 5 or 6 cars together. It's heavy traffic through there.
And our race leader slowing down. Sorry to interrupt you there, mate, but he is slowing down. And the field is beginning to catch him. Look at these street stocks go sideways. Oh, look out. Jimmy Gibbs goes on the inside of Donegan. Amazing stuff. And poor old Darren Knowles, well, he's in some strife with the car and now pulls onto the infield. Will he go back out onto the circuit? Yes, he does, in fact. So he's having some major troubles with the car. He's dropped from about 1st back to 8th position in one single lap. And now he makes his way onto the infield. It's all over Red Rover as far as Darren Knowles is concerned. So our new race leader, it's car number 49, Gary Wesley, as another
car. Number 9. Oh, there he goes. He's snaked all the way down the front straight.
Robert Welch, a big S-bend down here in front of us. Maybe something wrong. Maybe
he's got to have a flat tyre.
Yep. So our race leader, let's try and pick up the order. It's still Gary Wesley with 4 laps remaining, but Mike Marr is right up there and battling, and he wants the number 1 position, and one feels he wants it bad at the moment. Car number 63, Kim Cottrell, has really come to the forefront at the moment. Currently sits in 3rd position, but he's really got his sights on 2nd place driver Mike Marr at the moment, and of course our race leader Gary Wesley. So back there in 4th position at the moment is Doneguts, Brian Donegan, followed by Brad Scotcher. The next driver through would have to be car number 52, Garth Raymond. Darrell Payne, number 58, is up there also, as is car 67, Jimmy Gibbs. But have a look at the battle at the front. We've got 2 and a bit laps remaining. It's still Gary Wesley, and Kimmy Cottrell battling hard, has made it into 2nd position, and it certainly isn't over. Mike Marr, Donegan's just rounding him up on the outside. Well, we could be in for a great finish in this one. This will go down to the wire, believe you me, down the back chute. 1.5 laps remaining. It's still Gary Wesley, car number 49. But on the inside, Wesley gets it sideways. Cottrell sneaks up on the inside. Can he get there? That's the question. Gets a big wind up from a few fellows down here in front of us. Wesley running mid-track. Cottrell looking for the inside, trying to get around any way he can at the moment. Down the back chute they run, and it looks as though Wesley has got the legs at this point in time as they enter corner number 3, but it certainly isn't over. Out of corner number 4, but no, Wesley will hang on and take the checkered flag for a well-deserved victory. Kimmy Cottrell in for 2nd. 3rd position was very close there between Donegan, Brian Donegan and Mike Marr, followed by Brad Scotcher, who came in at about 5th position, followed by Jimmy Gibbs, Darrell Payne, Garth Raymond, Andrea Payne, and Rob Payton, the Victorian, and Rick the Animal Skews, whose car is about to expire over there on corner number 2. But gee, tell you what, I'm almost hoarse after all this action out here.
Eddie doing a good job up there. Well, congratulations to tonight's feature winners. First of all, Peter Drew in Super Sedans, Gary Wesley in Street Stocks, and of course Gary Rush in Sprint Cars, the Adelaide Master for the 7th time. That's it for tonight. We'll see you back here again in a fortnight's time for the big USA Speed Car meeting. In the meantime, remember, Speedway's here on the track, not out on the road.